What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Triple Threat Talk. It's been a while. I think it's about 2.5 months since I last recorded an episode. Just been a little bit of a hiatus with work and life just being life and everything like that. But this is a new era of Triple Threat Talk. This is not a solo journey anymore. We got a co-host along for the ride. We have my good friend Jonah. Jonah is... Wait, you've lived in Colorado for your entire life?
Yeah, I've been here, born and raised. Yeah, 23 years strong.
Yeah, Jonah and I have known each other for the last 10, 11 years of our lives ever since, or more consistently known each other for then. We knew of each other because of our dads working with one another when they were younger. But when I moved out to Colorado, you and I became very good friends. And ever since then, it's just been, all right, we're talking about basketball. And we talked about this when we were younger, just having a show or something. And I started it up, and I remember you were very early on board of being a supporter of it. And I was like, at some point he's going to be on for an episode. And then you were just like, yo, we got to get it back going again. And I was like, dude, you just want to be on the ride for this? And you were like, let's do it. So in terms of what we're going to be talking about, still basketball will be one of the primary focuses, but also it's just whatever we really want to talk about. This is our time to just catch up with one another, talk about, because I know you are a big football, soccer fan.
Oh, yes.
Well, Premier League fan, primarily. Man City. I know you're a big Man City fan. I told you that I would choose a team. I still haven't chosen my team.
Yeah, last game of the season's tomorrow, so you got the whole
offseason. Oh, no, I know. I got summer. Summer.
Yeah, we got the summer. You got till August.
Yeah. So we'll definitely get that. When football season rolls around, we'll get into that. But it made sense to kick it back up, especially when the conference finals are going on. And they've been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
If I said so myself.
Indy has looked, they've looked very, very good.
But here's the thing, you and I have known this.
We've been saying this for months.
We've been saying this for months. We've said it since last May.
Indy's a dark horse team.
Indy's a dark horse. They always have been. And it's purely because of the pace of play. There's no stop. I saw somebody tweet about it last night, and it was what makes the Pacers is Pascal Siakam and Andrew Nembhard running down the court, sprinting full speed with 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we saw that last night.
The depth and the speed that they have consistently is just irritating to deal with. And it's they have so many guys that can show up. It was
they can go 9 or 10 deep into their bench.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's in terms of trustworthy offensive options, obviously you have your main 3 or 4 guys of Halliburton, Siakam, and Turner. And then you get the guys right there, the Neesmith, the Obi Toppins, the Andrew Nembhards of the world. And then you get the TJ McConnell production minutes. Isaiah Jackson, when he was healthy, he was producing. And then you have Ben Shepherd off the bench for defensive reliability. And it's just that very much makes sense. Their identity is very much, you have to keep up with us. It never was we're going to run this motion set and get deep. It's no, we're going to take the first shot.
Yeah, and we saw this even last year in the conference finals against the Celtics. They're just a fast-paced team. Even all year last year, I think they led the league in scoring last season. They just have such a fast-paced offense that they're just go, go, go.
I think they might be the number 1 team in pace. And if they aren't, I'm shocked to see who is, because it's just I'd say the closest that we've seen to this is maybe the 7-second or less offense for Mike D'Antoni in the 2000s. That's the other example that I can really think of where it's we do not care about the shot we're taking. We're trying to take as many shots as possible.
Yeah.
So
they shot 52% from the field last night.
Yeah, and it's that very much is that's how they get away with it. They can have the games where it's they'll have they're 7th in pace.
Who's ahead of them?
Grizzlies are 1, Bulls 2, Hawks 3, Wizards 4, Jazz 5, Thunder 6. I don't believe that.
Jazz and Wizards, just that's surprising.
Hold on, pace isn't maybe the strat that. All right, let's look up offensive rating.
I was about to say, half of those teams are in the lottery this year. There's just no way.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, they're first.
Yeah.
They're first by 3 points.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
And that's purely the playoffs. in net rating though, they're fourth. The Thunder are clearly first. The Cavs had a better offensive rating apparently.
They had a great season.
They did. They really did. I was in on the Cavs. I think they just got kind of a bad draw with having to face the Pacers in the second.
I agree, but the whole year I thought they were kind of overrated. I mean, yes, they had an amazing record. I mean, they started off like 18-0, something like that.
Yeah, something. It was 15-0 and then lost.
15-0. Yeah, so I mean, they started off so hot. They were great all year, and they only ended the season 3 games ahead of the Celtics. I mean,
yeah,
the second half of the season, especially after the All-Star break, they did not look like a true number 1 seed. So I mean, I wasn't surprised that they lost. Yes, they said Mitchell was dealing with that injury in the playoffs, but
and then Garland and Mobley were dealing with some stuff. Like, I think that and I saw Zach Lowe kind of bring this up. Do they need to reduce the game numbers from 82?
I feel like it would be a good idea. I mean, you even see this in every sport around the world, but I mean, I just feel like 82 games is way too many. Even in the first round, they should do best of 5 series, not best of 7.
Yeah.
They could easily cut down the amount of games you play within your division.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I feel like if they were around, I don't know, 60.
Yeah.
I feel like that's still a lot, but I mean, definitely cut it down.
But
so I feel like
it's more manageable of a size.
It's more manageable, and I feel like every game would matter more. You know,
for sure.
It's like, okay, it's like a game in November, could still mean the same as a game in April.
Yeah.
So it's like,
what are your thoughts on the in-season tournament? I feel like you and I don't really talk about this a lot.
We haven't really. I mean, I feel like it's somewhat irrelevant. I feel like it's honestly just a money grab. But yeah, I feel like it is fun. You get the different jerseys, you get the different courts, you get some, interesting matchups. But I just feel like, again, it's just added games. Yeah. To an extent. It's like, do the players really want to play for this? Like, yes, they do get $500,000 per player, but, for some players that
you got to get there.
You got to get there to even have that, opportunity. Who won this year? Milwaukee?
No offense. Yeah, like Milwaukee won it this year. The Lakers won it last year. And it was like, it very much was like it makes sense where it's like, oh, like the money aspect is great, but it's like, what do you, like, they're going to be surprise teams. And by the surprise teams, it's like the mid-level teams that win, like the Hawks were like the prime example, where it's like they beat the Celtics, they beat the Cavs, they go on and beat the Knicks in New York, and they face the Bucks in the semis. And it's like, okay, that's great.
Yeah, because who did Milwaukee play in the final? I don't even remember.
The Thunder.
So long ago. Oh, it was Bucks Thunder. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And Shea just did not have a good scoring game.
Yeah.
They were without Shed at that point. I think Hartenstein, that was like one of his earlier games back, and J-Dub didn't play.
And that was still pretty early in the season. I feel like even the Thunder at that point were still trying to figure out their identity, and now they are what they are now.
Yeah. But I think with the in-season tournament, the aspect of it is just like, I don't know. It's what do you do with like how do you encourage a team like the Wizards? How do you encourage a team like the Jazz? Like those teams would benefit from that result way more than any of the other any of a playoff team. And the Suns or like the Mavericks or the Kings. Like those are like teams that just like didn't really have enough, or like or like the Sixers where they just like it fell apart. It's the teams like Wizards, Blazers, Jazz, like those teams would really benefit from it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it is interesting. I also feel like the NBA ratings, they haven't been what they have been. I feel like they're definitely trying to get more fan engagement. I feel like this is their they're trying to get more fan engagement by having the in-season tournament, but at the same time, it's like even the players sometimes don't even seem super engaged in it. So it's like again, it's just adding more games. So why not, if it were me, I would get rid of the in-season tournament. I'd cut the league down to 60 games, between 50 and 60. And then I feel like every game would matter. The level of play would be way better. You'd probably see a lot less injuries. Yeah, more rest, have no back-to-backs. There's definitely ways to clean it up. So we'll see.
And speaking of injuries, I mean, I feel like we might as well.
Yeah, the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, before this podcast continues, Jonah and I are massive Jason Tatum truthers. Arguably two of the bigger ones.
We've been there since day one.
I like the first person I texted was you after it happened. And I was just devastated. I was I remember I told like anybody who would be willing to listen, I told this. I was like, I couldn't feel a thing. And and still thinking about it, I can't.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. I think I sat on my couch for like an hour just in silence after. I was just like, this is the most heartbreaking thing ever.
I was like, I didn't even care if we won or lost that game.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
No.
It sucked, and it sucks that it had to happen to him and in that scenario. But he's going to come back. He's going to be still top 3 player in the world, as he already is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they said 8 to 9 months recovery, so that puts it the timeline well. Like,
I think. Hold on.
I feel like it'd be longer.
I'm skeptical on that. I think I don't want him next year. I don't want him to come back.
I don't think it makes sense to bring him back.
I want the Celtics to tank for AJ to Boston.
I also just don't think it makes sense to bring him back right at the end of the season.
It doesn't.
Right when intensity is going to start picking up, especially with his first round of the playoffs, coming off an injury. You don't want to put him into that setting right away.
Because when he would come back, it would be like the down part. It would be the down part of the regular season, where it's like nobody cares for the next
mid-March, beginning of April. Yeah,
and then it's like, all right, everybody cares, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Honestly, we'll see. Obviously I want him to play, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense. We'll see. And I saw a funny tweet. It was, he got the surgery from the same surgeon as Kevin Durant.
KD, yeah.
And I think the 3 years after Kevin Durant's Achilles injury, his stats improved those 3 years after. So, I mean, Tatum's only, what is he? He's only 19. So,
yeah, literally.
He'll be,
I can, let me see. I'm going to pull up his Kevin Durant stats for you real quick. It more so is just going to be like the weird part of, hey, we aren't going to be watching Kevin Durant for a good amount, or Jason Tatum, sorry, for a little bit of time.
Yeah, it'd definitely be weird to watch the Celtics next season.
So these were, for reference, these were the 3 seasons following the injury. First season averaged 27, 7, and 6. Second season, 37 and 6, and then 37 and 5.
Yeah, so I mean,
I think the only concern is just like the games played, I guess, but like it's just
he probably won't have that same explosive first step or whatever. But I mean, he's 27. He's not like when KD had his injury. He was already in his 30s. Tatum's still so young. I feel like he will come back from this injury, and he will be still.
Wait, I'm just trying to do the 17, 18, 19, or 17, 18, 18. What year is this for Tatum? 7?
I thought this was like year 8 or 9.
Year 8 for KD was when he got taken out. When he was out for the majority of the Thunder season that one year, and then they didn't make it in the playoffs. But year before was MVP KD, which was gross.
Yeah.
Speaking of MVPs in OKC, your favorite player in the world.
Yeah. Him, and can't stand him.
I don't think you'll hate this take. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say he totally deserved it. But it makes sense that he won.
Does it though?
Okay, hold on. You're also a huge Nikola Jokic truther, and so am I. Obviously, I love that.
I just look at if you look at the numbers. I mean, yes, SGA, he's a good player, but Jokic was top 3 or top 5 in every category. He set insane. I mean, this season,
I think it was top 3 rebounds, points, and assists, and then top 5 with steals.
Yeah. I'm just and he was shooting. His field goal percentage was really, really good. I mean, his numbers this year were better than his past MV season numbers.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he didn't win it. I mean, he was averaging 26, 12, and 9. Basically averaging another triple-double this year. SGA had the points with 32, but I mean, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean,
30, 13, and 10. Yeah, it's pretty gross.
That's what I'm saying. And I guess they just didn't want. That would have been his 4th MVP in 5 years. Maybe they just didn't want to do that, and they wanted someone new.
But saying voter fatigue is that's just putting a piece of Flex Seal tape over a cracked window. That means nothing. You have to figure it out. I saw somebody do an animated video where it was we are giving it to the most valuable player where it goes to SGA, and then it was Adam Silver being or it was the aliens come and it's oh, we're taking your best player, and they're no, wait, take Nikola Jokic, and they're but shouldn't the MVP go to the best player? And he goes, well, technically, and his brain just exploded.
Yeah,
I mean, the crazy part is for him to be, I didn't realize this, 2018, 2019, he was voted 4th in MVP voting. he averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. I'm not saying that isn't good, but like what he's doing now is just ludicrous.
It's insane.
Like
the Nuggets also need to figure out what they're going to do this offseason. I mean,
I think trade Michael Porter Jr.
I think they'll get rid of MPJ. He's just so streaky. I mean, they just hired Edelman as their new,
I like
head
Edelman.
coach. I think he'll be a good coach. It's something different.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with the GM position. I've been hearing rumors they might get Bob Myers. We'll see.
Wait,
I think they just need a little bit of a change, and the Nuggets will probably be right back up there competing for championships for the next few years to come.
I don't know if you knew this. Did you know Nikola Jokic was only All-NBA second team in 2023, 2020, or is this 2022, 2023?
The year they won the championship?
No, oh my god, it was the year they won the championship.
He was second team.
Giannis, Tatum, Embiid, SGA, Luka.
That was Embiid's MVP season, wasn't it?
It was.
So that's probably why he was first team, and then they lost first round of the playoffs, and Jokic went on to win Finals MVP. But hey, another player we don't,
Correction, Embiid did not lose in the first round of the playoffs. He actually got cooked in Game 7 by Jason Tatum when he scored 51. Boom, got him.
Even better. Man, how about Embiid, dude? He hasn't played. He didn't play like all season.
I don't care about that guy. I really don't.
He's overrated. Yeah, I mean, all time? Oh, I'm about to say. That's true. That is true.
The conversation for top 5 in the league right now would be Jokic, SGA, Giannis, Tatum, Luka, Joel, if he was fully healthy, consistent.
Yeah.
And then it's like, on the fringe, you have like Ant-Man, Curry.
Braun's still hooping.
Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of, like, I just don't really, like, of course,
who's kind of up and coming, and it does not get enough credit or talked about enough is Cade Cunningham.
Well, yeah.
Like, yes, he's on Detroit. I feel like that is why, but he had a really good season this year.
I think he was low-key, was he second team?
I think he was second team, which was definitely deserved.
Yeah, which makes sense. Let's go into all right, he was third team.
Third team?
Yeah. Which, okay.
First team I get.
First team, SGA, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Mitchell. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with that. And people would say there's the polar bear in Arlington and Donovan Mitchell.
That was the only one I was like, I was looking at it. I was
over him though.
That's what I was when I was looking at that yesterday when it came out. I was like, okay, yes, like maybe he doesn't deserve it, but
over him.
I'm not putting Brunson over him. Curry, it's just hard. Like seeing the rest of the players on the list, I'm like, okay, I understand why they gave it to Mitchell.
I would say Curry if the Warriors got like top 5 seed or better.
Yeah,
but it was like that down spurt before Jimmy Butler came. That was
and the Cavs were the 1 seed, so it's like I understand. I understand the logic behind it. So I mean, I'm fine with first team.
Yeah, second team: Jalen Brunson, Evan Mobley, Anthony Edwards, Stephen Curry, LeBron James. Okay, Edwards, Curry, James are locks, in my opinion. I think Evan Mobley personally is more third team.
I would agree.
But I don't have an issue with him being second team. I don't have
I feel like it's almost in a way, and again, he still had a great season, but in a way, recency bias. Like, they were the 1 seed, so obviously, they're going to put, players from, the top teams into the All-NBA. So
and Brunson makes sense. Like, as much as you and I hate on him,
my God.
Like, I will say there were times in the Celtics series where I'd be like, all right, that's just like a gross shot.
Yeah, no, he is a great player. He definitely flops a bit.
Yeah, but his shot creating ability is very good.
Is very
especially
good.
For his size.
He's got, because he's like what? How tall is Brunson? 6'1", 6'2". I mean, he has a great turnaround in the paint. He's got a great 3-point jump shot. So, I mean, yes, he's a solid player. So, I mean,
Yes.
second team. In a way, I mean, I'm trying to think of some other players who would have deserved second team over Mobley. I don't know. Would you argue putting Karl Anthony Towns second team, or do you
I
think
think
he
he.
deserves third
I
team?
think. I think Cat makes sense as third team.
Yeah.
It's just like this. Like I feel like there are just like his. I Here's an interesting take. I think Karl Anthony Towns is very similar into the highs and lows of a player like Jaylen Brown. Their highs are so good. They're like you're like, oh my god, how is this guy like not considered top 10 or top like 7 or 8, whatever. But then it's like they'll be on the other side of the spectrum for the game, and they're just like, all right, they just need to sit down. They're either fouling too much, they're turning the ball over, they're not hitting their shots, just causing lackadaisical behavior, like everything like that. So I think third team makes sense for him.
Yeah.
Third team itself: Tyrese Halliburton, Karl Anthony Towns, Cade Cunningham, James Harden, Jalen Williams.
Williams surprised me a little bit.
Jalen Williams surprised me.
I would have put, I mean, Ben Caro, again, I don't know if he had the amount of games to qualify for all teams, so that was probably why.
Yeah, he didn't, because I think he would have been hot take second team if he.
Honestly, I was thinking the same thing, and I feel like Jaylen Brown, if he had played the same amount of games, he would have been second team easily.
I think he would have been third team if it was. I think so, just because of like there were periods in the second half of the season where it was just like it just did not look like.
So you're so off of the current second team of Brunson, Curry, LeBron, and Mobley, you're not taking Brunson over or Brown over. I mean, I would take him over
on the
Anthony
season
Edwards.
On their performance of the season. I would take Brunson. As a player, I would rather have Brown.
Yeah, Curry,
his defense,
Edwards. I mean, but they're not doing it by position anymore. So you could have even argued a Jaylen Brown over Evan Mobley. Is that a hot take? Maybe.
Yes and no. I don't really think so. I think Evan Mobley's a better defender, but I'd say Brown I trust more offensively. But I mean, I don't really have an issue with it.
Tyrese Halliburton. I freaking love Halliburton. He is an amazing player.
The last 2 series, he's like gotten the love.
Everybody. This one. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, after being voted most overrated player in the NBA,
yeah,
and then he's going out, hitting game winners against Milwaukee, beating them in 5, hitting game winners against Cleveland, winning in 5, hitting game tires, almost game winners with the choke celebration against the Knicks in Game 1. I mean, he has played lights out this playoffs.
I was on the phone with 2 of my friends when he hit the game winner against Cleveland. Was that game 2?
Yeah.
I ran around my house when he did the Sam Cassell celebration. It legitimately, I tweeted about it so much on the Twitter page or X, whatever. I don't care. Sam Cassell, or no, just Cassell. Did I just do one?
I mean, Halliburton, he's just been playing out of his mind this playoffs.
I mean, yeah. Like, I know a lot of people, like Jay Williams is like, I consider him a superstar now. I wouldn't go that far. If he goes like a season where he's like 27 and like 10, then sure. But like,
yeah,
not yet.
Yeah.
But when
Harden had a quiet year this year too.
Harden had a quiet year, but like it was James Harden.
Yeah,
really good.
He looked like old James Harden again. Especially the second half of the season.
It was a major fear of mine when I found out. It was like, yeah, if the Clippers, like I thought the Clippers were going to be so bad, especially without Kawhi and losing Paul. I did not expect Norman Powell to take that step. I did not expect Zubac to be a perennial All NBA player and James Harden to be All NBA. Because the Thunder owned that pick.
Yeah, from the SGA trade.
Yeah, and so
that's got to be one of the worst trades ever.
Oh yeah, no.
Obviously, they didn't know what SGA was going to turn into.
It's no longer the Paul George trade. It's no longer the Paul George trade. It's the SGA trade.
Yeah, it was.
It's the SGA trade because at the time, obviously, it makes sense.
They didn't know, but
nobody knew. I think people knew, but nobody knew to this extent. So, but no, I don't. I think J-Dub is like my only one that I'd be like.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I just don't know who would you sub on instead of.
I would probably like
because you have to look at the criteria. I know some players didn't hit their.
I'm looking at the names for the players that didn't get in or received votes, and I'm just like, no, I wouldn't. Like Alperen Sengun
would have played. Yeah,
Alperen Sengun, Jaren Jackson, Ivica Zubac, Darius Garland, Domantas Sabonis, Pascal Siakam, Bam Adebayo, Trae Young, Devin Booker or the other
So, yeah,
players.
all those, I guess. And again, Thunder were the 1 seed in the West. So again, a little bit of, recency biasness there.
But why didn't Jaylen Brown make the All NBA team last year?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Well, yeah, he did win Finals MVP and then wasn't on the Olympic team. But that's a whole nother,
and Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
That's a whole nother conversation. But
Are you in the Tatum fan line that I don't know if I'd go this far, or I think like that Brown winning that Finals MVP hurt Tatum's career more than anything?
I don't necessarily say it would hurt his career. I don't understand. Again, if you look at the numbers, Brown did not deserve it. He had game 2. Yes, he had a great game 2 last year's finals, but Tatum led the team in points, rebounds, and assists the entire finals.
He had a really good game 2, and then it was just like the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Defense game 1. He had a really good game 2, and then game 3 he had like that kind of dagger shot.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it was like all Tatum.
But yeah, again, if you look at the numbers, though, Tatum, statistically speaking, had the better series.
Yeah.
And led the team in all, categories. And
that is not us trying to, like, hate on Jaylen Brown.
I still love Jaylen Brown. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely. But that is more so us for when people are going to try and be like, oh, SGA, when the Thunder win the NBA championship, they're going to be like, SGA Finals MVP, da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to be like, I don't care. Jason Tatum is still better.
I agree.
So...
you think the Thunder win the finals, dude? I've been riding Indy. I think Indy could take it this year.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked just because of like
I'm hoping for an
Indy's
Indy
like a team
OKC
of destiny
final.
at this point.
Yeah.
Indy's a team of destiny. It's like the Thunder's defense, dude.
Thunder are good. I hope we get an Indy versus OKC final. I think that would be fun. We got game 3 tonight. Back in Minnesota. Wolves haven't really looked great first 2 games. We'll see. Game 3 is really, this is kind of it for Minnesota. If they can win tonight, I feel like it's a series. Obviously if they lose down 3-0, it's probably over. It'll be interesting to see how Ant and, Randall and all come out for this game and play.
If they got the Thunder of the last 2 series, I think Minnesota would like actually have a lot easier of a time.
Yeah.
It's just like both teams aren't really shooting that well from deep. It's just like, it's basically just like the difference primarily right now is just like SGA is getting to the line with ease.
He's always at the free throw line.
I know.
And
then also the height.
Yeah,
with
6'6"
Chet and Hart. Yeah.
Just SGA's. He is a great player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's egregious. They're a good team. It's definitely egregious at times. I know what you mean. Like, when your smallest guy... Wait, I'm just trying to double check to see. Yeah, your smallest guy is Lou Dort at 6'4".
6'4".
You go 6'4", 6'6", 6'6", like 7 feet, 7'1".
That's a big lineup.
Like, the only team that I'm, like, I could easily see, like, comparing with that is the Celtics.
That's like exactly what I was thinking.
Derek Drew, 6'4", Jalen 6'7", Tatum 6'9",
6'8".
And then Kristaps 7 foot.
And then coming off the bench, even you got Al at what, 6'10"?
Yeah, 6'9", 6'10", yeah. Hauser, Cornette, so.
Absolutely love Luke Cornette. It'll be an interesting series. I'm excited to see game 3. I feel like it's going to be.
I am too. It very much is a do or die game though for.
I feel like
Wolves.
The Wolves are going to come out hot. I honestly, I don't necessarily think this is a hot take, but I think Minnesota will take this game. I think it'll be close, but the last 2 games they've kind of gotten blown out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Weirdly
enough, if you were to give me like the top 8 of the Timberwolves, I'd feel more comfortable with that top 8 than I'd say the top 8 of the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like Julius Randle didn't play well last game. Rudy Gobert obviously doesn't really have a lot of help, or doesn't really produce a lot of help. Anthony Edwards didn't shoot well from deep. Mike Conley has not shot the ball well all playoffs. And then DiVincenzo and Naz Reid both didn't shoot great from deep. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker played well, but I don't know. I also saw a pretty interesting stat that it was the first game, I think, in SGA's career with, I think it was like 20 plus field goal attempts and 15 plus free throw attempts. And then the guy was like, yeah, Jordan had 46. And I was like, I'll give credit where credit's due. That's pretty impressive. But also, It's not like we're not like going here and going like it's not like SGA is averaging like this absurd amount of points through the playoffs right now.
No.
It's not like he's averaging like 34 or 35. It's like, let me see.
Playoffs, I mean, this series at least as well.
All right, 30 points is pretty good.
This series, he's averaging 30, 34.5. Brunson's averaging 39.5 this series, and they're down 0-2.
He's averaging 39.5 this series.
I mean, he had a 43 ball game 1, had another 30 something last night.
I forget it's only been 2 games. I was like,
wow,
that's a lot. And then I was like,
I mean, I will give credit last night. I mean, he had 30 plus last night. He only had 5 free throws.
Yeah.
That's rare. He had a good performance last night, except when it came down to the very end last game and he took that contested 35-footer from 3 with still 5 seconds left on the clock. I feel like he could have gotten a better shot to potentially tie the game there at the end, but that's not.
I mean, yeah, it's
not
just
what
like
happened.
Cat wasn't playing well, and then
that was also very. Cat only played 28 minutes, barely played the fourth quarter. I'm very curious what was up with that.
I feel like a lot of the times it's just like the defensive matchup, and people like. I think.
But you're telling me you'd rather have Mitchell Robinson on the court over Cat?
Hey, Mitchell Robinson.
Like, yes, he can
get more boards.
He can get boards, but he doesn't do anything.
I think he's a better defender in space. I think he's a better defender in the interior.
He's absolutely useless on offense. Yes, he might be able to set a screen, get a couple offensive rebounds, but you can't just have your offense running through Brunson every single play for the entire quarter.
But Cat went 6 of 14. It's not like he's productive.
I understand that, but I'm like, over the offseason, you gotta trust him. You traded for this guy. You're like, this is our missing piece. Kind of thing. You have to at least give him the chance to to show up in that moment. He didn't come. He barely. 28 minutes in a game 2 of a conference finals game just seems very low to me.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think a lot of it is just like it. I think a lot of people just like oversimplify things. Whenever you look at a team, you're like, how are they not playing good? And it's just like, things happen. Like on paper, how did the 2018 Celtics not win a championship? I don't know. It's because they just didn't.
Yeah, they just didn't. Yeah.
It's like, how does the 73-9 Warriors team not win a champion? They just didn't. And
Cat last night, what did he have? 6 of 14, 2 of 5, 20 points.
27. I think it's just the tough part is they have no bench.
They really only go
like
too deep, if that. Yeah, he's the second.
They went 3, and the third is very reliant on campaign being
campaign.
Like, all right, did
9 minutes?
Did he make a shot? Yeah, exactly.
It's like he's going to shoot 1 to 2 shots a game if he ever gets in. Yeah, they are very. They play their starting 5 and then they basically just sub out Hart, Anunoby, or
I want to say
Bridges.
I'm trying to remember exactly, but I remember it was like...
Dude, Mitchell Robinson had more minutes last night than Karl-Anthony Towns.
Like,
hey, he shot 50% from the free throw line. That's impressive. 2 for 4.
Yeah. I mean, finding out, like, the minutes played stat for, like just the Knicks in the entirety of the season.
It's ridiculous.
Like, here, I'm pulling up...
Bridges, I'm pulling
he
never
up
leaves the game.
Like, how many minutes, like, on average, like, a player played. And it's, like, pretty shocking.
I bet Bridges is number 1.
Let me just...
Oh, he played 45 minutes last night.
The Knicks have 3 in the top 6.
What, Brunson, Bridges, and OG? Or Josh Hart?
Hart, Bridges, and Anunoby. All of them averaged 36.6 more minutes. The only other players that average more are Tyrese Maxey at 37.7.
Really?
Booker at 37.3, Jokic at 36.7. And then
Jokic needs to play every minute or else
the remaining top 10
though,
is Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox.
Kevin Durant kind of surprises me a little bit.
I think it's very similar to like a Tyrese Maxey kind of situation where it was like, if I'm not out there, who is?
Yeah.
For us at this point.
That makes sense. I mean, Philly were terrible. They didn't make the playoffs this year. And then, of course, they get the number 3 pick in the draft.
Do you think the draft's rigged?
Yeah, can we pivot over to that real quick?
Yeah,
I think the draft is rigged. I mean, especially this season. The Mavs trade Luka. Everyone's like, what the hell are they doing? They have a 1.4% chance to get the number 1 overall pick, and they get the number 1 overall pick to get Cooper Flag after losing Luka.
I texted
A little
my
suspicious.
friend Ben, when I did a study abroad in Italy a couple of years ago, he and I were living together. He texted me right after the draft lottery ended. Holy fuck, dude. Nico won the Luka trade. And I said, the lottery saved his job. And he
Literally.
said, no way it isn't rigged.
It has to be. It has to be. 1.4% chance,
Like,
especially after the season and what the Mavs had. And then, of course, they're just going to get bailed out with number one pick. It's like...
But hey, and then, let's keep it real, though. This isn't the first time it's happened.
The Celtics had the best chance to get in. They gave it to San Antonio.
AD?
Yeah.
I remember that. But AD, when he was traded, or when Chris Paul was traded away from the Hornets to the Clippers, they got the number one pick. The Hornets got Anthony Davis. When Anthony Davis got traded away from the Pelicans to the Lakers, that happened. And they got Zion. And then the Luka trade, obviously. But then when
LeBron was coming out, I think LeBron even spoke on this.
Cavs get the number one pick next year.
But back in 2003, I mean, this was when I think LeBron came out and said something about how he thinks it's rigged a little bit when the Cavs had the first pick or got the first pick when LeBron was coming out. He's like, they got to keep the hometown kid home. It is interesting. And then obviously Philly was right there at the top. They get a top 3 pick after having a bad season without Embiid. So
I'm looking at the lottery odds for that draft. Pre-lottery position, they were number 1. So I'm not as mad about it.
Yeah, for the LeBron one.
Yeah, they were tied with the Nuggets for the.
I just think it's funny, but they're like, okay, but yeah, tied. But I think it's funny that the hometown kid stays home, goes number 1 overall.
Sure. No, I find it very.
It's just a little, yeah.
Pretty interesting enough, though. The biggest jump, actually the only jump in this entire draft lottery, was the Grizzlies pick for the number 2 slot for the Pistons. That went up from originally being 6th to being the 2nd pick, and then everything else just shifted down.
For this year?
No, for 2003. So
interesting.
So hypothetically, if everything didn't shift down and the Pistons had the 6th pick, Darko Milicic would have been on the Nuggets. Carmelo Anthony would have been on the Raptors. Chris Bosh would have been on the Heat, and the Clippers would have gotten Dwayne Wade.
The Clippers gotten Dwayne.
Imagine. And shout out to Supersonics with the 12th pick taking Nick Collison in that draft.
What was the Spurs lottery percentage? Or no, I'm just saying this year, because they have the number 2 pick this year.
Let me look it up.
They must have jumped pretty high because, I mean, the top 3 is Mavs, Spurs, Sixers. I feel like none of those teams really had an amazing chance to really get a top pick.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Sixers had a jump 2 spots. They were 5th in pre-position.
Okay.
The Spurs were 8th.
So they jumped 6 spots to number 2. Yeah. That's a big jump.
So the Sixers had a 10.5% chance. The Sixers had a 10.5% chance. Spurs had a 6% chance. The Dallas Mavericks jumped 10 spots.
Yeah, that's... Well, did you also see the funny thing with that? Chance. They lost a coin flip to the Bulls because they had the same record, same everything. It's like, all right, coin flip, whoever gets it gets, the 12th or 13th spot. And they lost the Bulls lost it, and that pick ended up being the number 1 overall pick. And I think that same thing happened handful of years back. I don't remember what player was coming out, but the Bulls have gotten kind of screwed recently. And
they've gotten plenty screwed.
Yeah.
Because of Alex Bregman's injury, Marcelo Meyer, one of the Boston Red Sox top prospects, is getting called up. So that's pretty hype.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just like I don't think the Mavs will trade the pick. I don't think they should.
I hope Nico has one more bad move up his sleeve. I've been seeing things that obviously they're just rumors, but what if they traded the number 1 overall pick for Giannis? I feel like Giannis is out of Milwaukee this offseason.
I hear the primary one that I always hear is...
Yeah, I could see that. That would be nice. Also, the Thunder have so many. They have like 10 first-round draft picks in the next 6-7 years.
They could go get...
But I'm like, but what do you give up? Do you even want that? I mean, they're already making such a huge run. They're already such a good team. What would you give up for that?
I don't know. I think it's more so they just like...
I mean, they have the assets to do it.
Do they want to worry about the contract situation that they're going to have to deal with?
Oh, with Giannis, SGA. Yeah, Chet's probably going to get a bag here pretty soon.
No, more so already. Because
Well, yeah, but I'm saying even this in the next couple of years, though. I mean, SGA is going to be up for the Supermax.
Ready? Okay, SGA will get a Supermax in the probably not this offseason, but the following offseason. And so that will have him there from like 27, 28 to like
60 million a year.
32 to 33. Hartenstein will be there for the next 2 years, most likely, with a team option.
That's a player I feel like they could get rid of.
Yeah.
What if you got rid of like one of the Williamses? Obviously, you want to get rid of Williams.
Yeah.
The bench one. But if you got rid of him, Hartenstein, a couple first-round picks for Giannis.
But here's where you get tough, though. J-Dub is due for an extension this offseason.
Yeah.
And so is Chet. Because they have one more year left on each of their deals, and they're both team option deals. So they're going to obviously take both of those options. And then do they both just say, all right, so now we have 2 years to try and win 2 titles, and then it's like, all right, you just leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, no, you're not going to want to do that.
That'll be interesting because they'll have a ton of money. Kind of similar to what the Celtics are dealing with this year.
Yeah, because it's like, because SGA is going to want to get paid.
Well, he'll be getting $60 million a year, like I feel like minimum at that rate.
I think it's even more.
It's going to be more than that because it just keeps going up and up.
I'm looking.
Because Tatum got what? 50 something, I think.
SGA is now eligible to sign a 5-year, $380 million extension. That is over $70 million a year. That's $76 million a year.
That is ridiculous.
Like I know people.
$76 million a year is insane.
That's almost $1 million a game. Yeah. Like.
That's ridiculous.
I think so. I mean, in terms of like this is almost another reason why you look at the Luka trade and you. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying okay. Hold on. Not saying I would do that trade. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. Like, why would you?
He's 25 years old.
25 years old, and the year before he averaged 34, 10, and 9.
They made it to the finals.
And you make it to the finals.
Yeah.
You were literally like, if you had a healthy season, like you were projected to be the number 2 team.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for you trading away this and then Luka and then injuries, like obviously like the injuries, like we didn't know, but in terms of hey, like this is a financial choice as well, then sure, like it makes sense because you say like he really lost like $100 million. You saved $300 million. Sure, like is that going to go elsewhere at some point in the future? Absolutely, because if you make this decision again, you're an idiot. And you have that decision again with the number 1 pick in Cooper Flag. So, like, it was a diabolical decision. I was post-wedding when I found out. I had showered, getting ready to go to a bar after my cousin Nick's wedding, and I turn on my phone and I see a Twitter notification from Shams. I'm like,
well, it also happened. It was the game after. It was the Lakers versus Knicks in the Garden. Knicks. And that game didn't, and that was a late game. That game didn't end until it was like a primetime, like Saturday night game, I think it was, and it was just like it was like 11 p.m. Woj bomb. And you're like, wow, I was like, this is.
Well, so it was an even bigger deal in terms of my Twitter circles because obviously me being in the Boston area, me tweeting about the Celtics so much, I'm gonna be more tailored to like Celtics fans. The amount of people that I saw that were like, I went to sleep last night with this not even a thought in my brain. And I wake up to it happening. Crazy.
Yeah, it was. That was a crazy trade.
People were breaking it down and it was like, arguably, this is the biggest trade in sports history.
Yeah.
And in terms of.
It was just a very shocking trade, too. I mean, Anthony Davis is 30 years old, 30 plus.
In terms of caliber of players, sure. In terms of impact, I wouldn't say so just yet. I would more so say the Babe Ruth trade still, because we obviously saw what that did. But, like, imagine if you went up to, like, a Mavs fan and were like, hey, you're not winning a title for the next 86 years. They'd be like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
like, 2097, wait. 2097 is like, when the 86 years for them would be.
It's crazy.
Like, that, like, so, like, that is when you put it into perspective and you're like, all right, never mind. The Celtics, or the Red Sox losing for 86 straight years is horrible.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I also saw it was a funny graph. It was like, this is the projected Dallas Mavericks team for next year. And it was like Davis, AD, Flag. Thompson, Kyrie, I think, Lively or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yes, that's a good team on paper. But what are the odds that this team's actually healthy come playoff time?
No, they won't.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I want to pull up some mock trades and get your thoughts on these. For primarily, these are just Celtics trades.
I've seen so many of these. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like.
All right. So before we begin, who are like? All right. There's a clear, obvious lock. Jason, obviously. Are you in the perspective that anybody else is on the table right now, or do you have a couple other people that you're like now?
For me, I feel like the 3, maybe even 4 untouchable players this offseason. I feel like the only 2, at least from the starting 5, would be Drew and KP.
I agree.
I feel like Derek White and Brown.
I don't like the Derek White speculations that I'm hearing, where it's like, yeah, he's like Golden State wants him. I'm like, no, like if there's
like every team in the league would want him.
If there's a good package for Derek White, I am willing to say goodbye.
I would look at it, but
I'm not doing it for Pods. I'm not doing it for Kuminga. I'm not doing it for Moses Moody. I want like 4 first-round picks and Kuminga and Pods or something. But I know I'm not getting 4 first-round picks for Derek White.
No, it's like I feel like
if Mikal Bridges can get 6 first-round picks, Derek White is worth 7. That's all I know.
Hey, Rudy Gobert was what, 5?
Exactly. My point even more.
I feel like Derek White is, for me, I feel like Derek White's untouchable. I feel like Brown's untouchable. Obviously, Tatum is. And I don't feel like they'll trade Horford. I feel like Horford's got 1 year left on his before he retires, maybe 2.
It's damn near confirmed that he is going to be back next year.
Year, but I feel like it might be his last year, if not 2. I feel like
too.
they wouldn't trade him. So I feel like the most likelihood trades is you'd probably get rid of Drew and Porzingis, and if you had to throw in a third player, I feel like Hauser, yeah, it's like $500 million. It's ridiculous, yeah. And because how much Drew and KP are getting?
They're, I think, both around like
30 something. I think Drew's exactly 30 million,
and then KP might be
he had a
like
4-year 135 he signs. So and KP's around. I think they're all over. I think pretty much their whole starting 5 is over 30 million.
Derek, I think, is under. Derek is the only one that's like but he's like just around.
He's like 20, 28 maybe. He signed I
got it. He's not on a 4-year 70. I know that's wrapping
4 year about 120, 118.
Okay, yeah. So just under per
just
average.
Slightly under. Yeah, like 28.
29.5.
So I feel like, and with Drew's getting older, he didn't look himself this season. I bet there was definitely some injuries there, and KP, I don't know what was wrong with KP this year.
I think it was just the virus.
He played in like half the games he played. I mean, did you see in the Knicks series, in those 5 games, he only scored a total of 25 points?
I don't want to.
I know, it was just ridiculous. That's why I feel like he's on the way out. They got the championship with him.
Like, I saw a stat, and shout out Kirk Goldsberry. He's like one of my personal favorite like NBA like media guys. He's very in depth in posting like pretty like balanced stuff. But what was it? Let me see. Coldest shooters in the playoffs. This is points per shot. J-Dub, so this was May 16th for reference. J-Dub was 5th with 0.93. Dort was 4th with 0.91. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, 0.87 and 3rd. DiVincenzo, 0.84. Second, Kristaps Porzingis, 1st, 0.73. It's not good.
No.
It's not good. I know the city of Boston loves him. I know, like, he's a fan favorite.
When he's healthy, he's a great player.
For sure. When he's hitting those 40-footers, he's a great player. He isn't, though.
Mm-mm.
He isn't. It's just something has looked from when we didn't have him in that stretch during January when we looked really bad and everybody thought the world was collapsing. We were just like, we need him back.
Mm-hmm.
We got him back.
Mm-hmm.
And from when he was back to when he got sick, the Celtics were clearly the best team in the NBA.
Easily.
By far.
Yeah.
They had the 6 healthy, the 7 healthy, they had everything clicking. And then the stomach virus rolls around, and then JB's knee injury kind of starts acting up again, which, by the way, I know there's like the whole perspective of people that are like, oh, I think he should have gotten it done during the middle of the season. We don't know how that surgery is going to go. We don't know what they're going to find during.
I heard that he might not actually be getting surgery on it, which would be big. Maybe just rest, but we'll see. We'll see what comes out.
I think he should, because it's like,
get it fixed.
What's the worst that's going to happen? Oh, you have 6 months recovery time, and now the Celtics
so you can't play till Christmas. Okay,
darn.
Big whoop.
So the Celtics are just going to start, instead of being like 15-15, they're going to start like 10-20. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not like, and I think people are really like, I have a very good amount of friends who watch the NBA, obviously, and I'm sure you do as well, and I'm sure you fight the same battles as I do. That are the people that are like, oh, the Celtics are better without Jason Tatum. It's like, no, they're not. I have multiple friends who say Jaylen Brown's a better player. I love Jaylen Brown, top 20 player in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
He's not top 3. He's not Jason Tatum.
No, and I mean, you even just saw it even within the locker room and just the players when he got hurt. Like, yeah, we lost our leader. It's not. They didn't say like, oh yeah, we lost one of our stars, like one of our leaders, and like we lost our leader.
They lost the guy.
They lost exactly, yeah,
the guy, and there isn't like you you know how much I watch him, and I know how much you watch the team. And it's like, obviously, like we've seen the highs of like every single player on that team, and it's like that's the expectation we have going into it. And people always expect that you and I are just extremely high on Jason Tatum. It's not because we just want to, it's because we see it. We've seen him literally have like games where it's like the whole world stops. The Spurs game where they came back from 28 down and he scores 60. The 50-point playoff game in which he defeated the super team Nets. Game 6 against the Bucks. Game 7 and Game 6 for the last 2 minutes against the Sixers.
Philly,
Game 4 against the Knicks this year. Basically, sure.
Yeah, he was on his pace for a 50 ball in the Garden.
The second round series against the Cavs last year. Like I don't get the slander.
I don't either. I don't understand it.
If you want to hate on Jason Tatum for being Jason Tatum, sure. Like I know there are people who are like, dude, he's like got everything, dog. I'm like, yeah.
No.
But he also came from nothing.
Came from nothing. I mean, he's super humble. You never hear anything bad about him in the media, on or off the court.
It's ridiculous.
He plays the game the right way.
Yeah.
He's a great player. I mean, look what he's done over his 8-9 year career already. He's accomplished so much, and it's just like I don't understand it.
I could care less what any media member has to say. I could care less what any troll on Twitter has to say. So the fact of the matter is this: respect from the players is forever grateful or forever better of a value to determine a player. And people and players are shaking in their boots when they have to face Jason Tatum. They understand it. Kevin Durant knows it. And if Kevin Durant knows something, then I'm going to listen to it. Paul George knows. Carmelo knows. LeBron knows.
Yeah.
JJ Redick knows. Steve Nash knows. It's just, he's Wing Duncan. He's the modern Tim Duncan. He plays the game the way that it's supposed to play. Sure, you could say it's corny, but why would you? If it's corny and it works, call me a corny ass motherfucker. I don't care.
They're just hating because he's good.
Exactly. They hate us because they hate us.
It's like the whole Brady thing.
Exactly.
Everyone hate Brady because he kept winning, and he was very good. And
then the entire NFL goes to dumb brains for half of the quarterbacks, and then you're like, oh my god, Tom Brady was so good.
Yeah. It's the same thing. I mean, this is 4 straight first team All NBA, 4 straight years.
Yeah, he's the
now 10th, this year.
He's the 10th player since 2000 ever do that.
It's crazy.
And if you think of like all the great players from the year of 2000, like ever since 2000, you're like,
yeah, Kobe, LeBron,
Jokic, Giannis, I think are like.
Durant was probably on there at a time, maybe.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm very curious who the 10 are. But yeah, Kobe, Braun, probably Tim Duncan.
4 straight All-NBA first team. Nope, that was just the... okay. It wasn't really exactly what I was looking for. Okay.
Curry.
That's what I'm thinking.
That stretch with the Warriors, I mean, that's probably 4 years.
The most consecutive.
Since 2000.
Team All-NBA. Let's see. Okay. Karl Malone and LeBron James each share a record 11 consecutive first-team All-NBA selections.
Karl...
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to look that up.
Interesting. So since 2000.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh. 1988-89 season to 1998-99 season, Karl Malone was a top 5 player in the NBA every year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see if there's like any notable one, like as of late. Like SGA, I think has made 3.
Did Jokic make 4 in a row? I don't know if he did.
No, because of 22 wait, actually hold on. Let me look at that. 2018, 2019. No. 2020, 21, 21, 22. Didn't make it 22, 23, and then made it the last 2. The current longest active is Giannis.
How many?
Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
Oh, I saw a stat. Only ever players in NBA history to have 7 straight All-NBA first team appearances, a Defensive Player of the Year award, and an MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Michael Jordan. So that's pretty good. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I need to find out what that green means now because that's not yet eligible for. Okay, got you. Okay. No, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. It's rather ridiculous. Should we do top 10 talk and then we can wrap it up?
Yeah, we can go. Oh, here we go. Here's James Harden.
How many?
He had 4 in a row from
2018
to 21. 2018, 2019, 21.
20, okay, 2, 3.
Tatum, and he'd probably, I would assume, Kobe, Tim Duncan.
DeAndre Jordan, 2015, 2016 All-NBA first team. That makes
he was good at Lob City.
He was, but this is like...
I can't believe he's still in the league.
But hold on, like, I need to see those. I need to see that stat. Like, I need to see those years, like, specifically.
He was
2015.
Dominant. What was he averaging? Like
13 points, 14 rebounds on 70% shooting.
How many blocks?
2.
It's not bad. A game? Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, because I feel like 90% of his shots were dunks.
Well, yeah. He's the NBA record for career field goal percentage.
Career field goal percentage?
In career field goal percentage and playoff field goal percentage.
Sam Hauser.
DeAndre Jordan.
Really?
67.4% from the field in the regular season, and playoff 67%. That's pretty crazy. Okay, top 10.
Should we get some top 10?
We should get into some top 10 talk.
I don't even remember what my top 10 was last time. Well, let's just start. Who do you think is the best player of all time? Because I personally think it's LeBron James.
I think it's LeBron James.
Okay. I'm glad we agree on that.
It's Jason Tatum.
That's for you. It is Jason Tatum.
No, it's LeBron. I get it. Six rings and 6 is obviously very impressive. But yeah. There's a guy who, God rest his soul, is 6 feet under that wore the number 6 better than anybody and has 11. So
yeah, people want to talk about that.
Exactly. So I have Bron 1. You have Bron 1 as well. I have Jordan 2.
I'll put Jordan at 2 as well.
Okay, who's your 3?
See, this is where it gets tough.
This is I know where you and I divert, and this is where we.
I feel like it's hard to even just rank them just because of the different eras. Like, yes, I want to put Kobe up there, but I mean, if you think about all these other players in history, I mean, personally, I don't know about you, but I have Larry Bird in my top 10.
Oh, I do too.
I don't know where, but he's definitely top 10. You got to put Magic in there.
Okay, I'm not. Yeah. I think you and I have the same makeup of similarity makeup of players
for like at least
8 or 9 of them. Yeah, you I know have a massive disagreement with one of my spots, in which I have now kind of.
I want to see if I wrote this down. I think I sent it to you.
Do you want me to give you my 10 and I'll kind of give reasons why?
Let's hear it.
I'll give you the 5 quick.
Yeah.
I have my top 5 for the greatest of every position because
I want to hear this.
Greatest small forward of all time, LeBron James. Number 1.
Mm-hmm.
2, greatest shooting guard of all time, Michael Jordan. 3, I have the greatest center of all time in Kareem. 4, I have the greatest point guard of all time in Magic Johnson. And 5,
Curry?
I think only because I think if you were to put Magic Johnson in this era, he would be like a 20 and 20 average. He would average 20 points a game and 20 assists. It'd be so easy for him to. He's 6'9" and can see everything.
Yeah.
And could get like
and that's what they thought Ben Simmons was going to be.
Yeah, but hold on. Only one thing stopped Magic Johnson, and that was outside of basketball. Anyway, and then 5, I have Tim Duncan.
I like the Tim Duncan.
I had Tim Duncan 4, and I know that really pissed you off. Here is why.
Yeah.
Greatest center, there's disputes, right? There's not a dispute for greatest shooting guard. There's not a dispute for greatest small forward. Point guard, there's now a dispute. There are 3 guys who are, in my opinion, top 20 players of all time that also play the power forward position. And it's
I think I know. I think I know.
Go
I
ahead.
think I know all three.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, KG, Dirk.
Yeah. And then the fourth guy who is right out on the fringe of top 20 for me is Giannis.
Giannis is very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's
if
the
Giannis
fourth.
gets a jump shot, he's a top 10 player of all time.
Yeah. But like Tim Duncan, he like sacrificed a lot for the betterment of the team. Like he is the ultimate role model in terms of a team player.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. When you like, and I've heard people try and say the arguments of, oh, but like Pop isn't that good. And it's like, what do you mean? Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker on any other team isn't that good. Sure, they'd have moments, but we've seen Mo Harkless have moments. We've seen Evan Fournier have moments. We've seen everybody have moments. You ever heard of Linsanity? That was a movement. This is what movies is made of. Sorry. And after all that, anyway.
After all that,
it was one of the most underrated defenders of all time. One of the just like most underrated players of all time. Didn't talk really at all. Like, if you want a good laugh, just watch the Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett talking about Tim Duncan on the All the Smoke podcast with Stack and Matt Barnes. He's like, Timmy would hit you in phrases. Nice job. Got him. It's just like, it's like when you have arguably the king of trash talk in Kevin Garnett shutting up for you,
mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. And with that, it's just like, I think even just his counting stats, like if you really were to just like look at the resume, like, ready? 15-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA, 3 times Finals MVP, 2 times MVP, 5 times champ, 15-time All-Defensive NBA, 75th anniversary team. Like, had multiple seasons of like 23-10 or more. Like his peak, we're talking all defensive first team, all NBA first team, MVP, while averaging 26 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists with a steal and 2.5 blocks a game on 51% shooting. Like, we're talking about a guy who was top 5 in MVP voting for 9 of his first 10 years in the league. Top 5 in MVP voting. All NBA first team since the jump. 2005, 2006, where he got second team and then went back to first team and then had 2 years straight of All NBA second team again.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the back end of his career, it's like the 2012-13 team, 7th in MVP voting, All-Star, All NBA first team, All NBA second team, and then 2 years, and then the next year you win a ring. And it's like, just, I think Tim Duncan will always go down as one of the most underappreciated players in NBA history. It's just
I agree. Yeah.
Like what he brought in terms of balance, in terms of vision, in terms of everything like that, he did it incredibly well.
Yeah.
Fun fact, he and Tony Parker tied for 12th in MVP voting this year. So, also another fun fact about the Spurs team that won it all that year, had 3 different guys in the top 13 for 6th man of the year voting. It didn't have a single player score average more than 17 points in a game. Tony Parker was their highest scorer, averaging 16.7 points per game. And the 3 guys that were top 13 for 6th man of the year were Marco Bellinelli, Manu Ginobili, and Patty Mills.
Love those guys.
All right. And in terms of the back half of the top 10,
so I was randomly Googling and I asked ChatGPT top 10 NBA players of all time. Do you want to hear the list?
I do, actually.
Number 1, Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Number 2, LeBron. Number 3, Kareem, which I agree with. I think you might not have had Kareem in your top 10, but I feel like he's...
I have Kareem at 3.
Okay.
My opinion, Kareem is the greatest center of all time. Okay.
So I think this is where we get different, because I feel like there's 2 that I would take over him.
Here's what I mean. In terms of completing everything as a basketball player, Kareem did that. 5 rings, 6 MVPs, had success at the college level, the high school level, and the NBA level. Obviously, was the leading scorer in NBA history for the longest time until One Mr. LeBron Ramon James came, but it's just like, I think in terms of like, he truly had a unstoppable move.
Yeah.
And he was very good defensively, was a total package of everything. So that's why I'd go Kareem over other centers.
Yeah.
I have two more centers in my top 10.
I think I do as well. And I don't think, well, we're not there yet, but Magic Johnson's at 4, Larry Bird at 5. I agree with that.
I have Bird at
Bill
6.
Russell, I think he's top 10, probably even top 5. Shaq, I think Shaq is easily top 10. Tim Duncan, 8. Kobe at 9. And then number 10, ChatGPT has Steph Curry.
I don't hate that.
So the people like that didn't make the list, just for reference, Wilt was a beast, but Hakeem Olajuwon, Oscar Robertson, Kevin Durant, just to name a couple. But
yeah,
those guys. But I like this list.
I'm actually very close to. Okay, so Braun 1, Jordan 2, Kareem 3, Magic 4, Duncan 5.
I'm going Duncan 5 is just.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He's top 10, but he's not top 5.
He's the only one of a power forward that's in there.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to have my position. You don't have my position. I mean, I would take.
I personally
I would take Bill Russell or Shaq over Tim Duncan.
That's fine. I don't have an issue with it. But when Tim Duncan is guarding up those boys and ripping through,
he's not stopping.
When
Shaq.
he is ripping through and putting it off glass from 15 feet out, I'm laughing as a coach.
He's not getting. I mean,
6 I have Bird.
Continue.
6 I have Bird.
Yeah. Okay.
7 I have Shaq.
Yeah.
8.
Don't do it.
I'm kind of forgetting about certain players. I'll be honest. Oh wait, 8. Who did I say for 7? Shaq. 8 I have Kobe.
Okay.
9 I have Curry.
Yeah. Wow.
And then 9? 10. I know I'm forgetting. Wait, hold on.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hold on. I'm dumb. 8. Bill. I have. Okay, yeah. Bird at 6. Shaq at 7. Bill at 8. Kobe 9. Curry 10.
I feel like it's. I like that list. I also just feel like it is a bit hard to put current players who are still playing in this list, such as Curry. I mean, LeBron's the only kind of outlier here just because I think he's the best ever. But just put Curry in this list over a player like, I mean, did you even mention, Wilt, Hakeem,
but you know
Oscar
how,
Robertson were all great. No, I know.
You also know how I feel about Wilt. I think most dominant player in NBA history by far.
I thought it was just funny. I mean, I would leave him out of my top 10, especially after watching that Celtics documentary.
Oh, I don't have an issue with any. Yeah, I don't have an issue with
watching how, yes, he was super dominant, but he could never beat Bill Russell. Bill Russell owned him.
God, no.
And that, for me, I'm just like, okay, yeah.
And that is why I have an issue with really putting him in my top 10.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Because I'm like, all right, I have some eras represented here in different positions. I don't really have a same era, same position. Like, I have Bird and Magic. They didn't play the same position, obviously. Like, so, I mean, Hakeem is like the one that Hakeem has always been a personal favorite of mine in terms of just
he's borderline top 10.
He's the only one that I'm like I know this is kind of a hot take. I always go back and forth with him and Shaq.
I feel like Shaq's clearly
no, but that's 10. Fair. But like, I'm not going to put him over Bill, and I'm not putting him over Kareem.
See, I put him over Kareem personally. Well, I don't know. They're all so good.
Oh, they are. Yeah, for sure.
It's just hard to because there's so many great players in history. I honestly don't know if I would put Tim Duncan in my top.
That's fine.
But
here's the thing. And I don't want people to get this sick and twisted. I may seem like I am riding on Tim Duncan right now. But I have a firm allegiance to one Kevin Garnett. If we're taking careers, obviously I'm taking Tim Duncan over Kevin Garnett.
For sure.
I'm taking peak, I want peak KG.
Where do you throw in Dirk in this conversation then?
Oh, he's third.
Yeah.
For me.
Where do you think top 20 all time?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't like when we talk about unstoppable, we're talking Dirk Nowitzki is the most unstoppable power forward.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like,
over Giannis?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so.
I feel like Giannis has a little more left to prove. He's still a great player.
KG's best year. Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
24, 14, 5, 1.5 and 2
Okay.
on 50% shooting.
It's a good sell-in.
That's pretty good. It's just with him, a lot of it was like the injury that he got in 08, 09.
Mm-hmm.
That hurt him a lot. Like, dude, I'm like, if he was there, if we had healthy KG for 08, 09 and 09, 010 and 09, 10, Celtics probably three-peat.
Where do you put Paul Pierce all time?
I feel like that's the hard one. Like, that's a hard. In terms of small forwards, I have him behind KD. I have him behind Durant. I know the accolades are better, but I don't know if I can have him really behind Kawhi. But like,
Nice.
but we saw a year of Kawhi, and it was like arguably one of the most impressive years ever.
Yeah, with the Raptors.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Insane. I mean, hell, he's 3-time NBA champ, I think, right?
I would probably put Pierce top 35, top 40. That's just purely like not really thinking though. Like that's not me like sitting down and going, all right, I think this person's better. I think this person's better. Oh, I think this person's better. So I don't know. I'm very much somebody that's never had an issue with anybody being like, I think so and so is a top 5 player of all time. I'm like, okay, that's your opinion. Ride with it. It's like find something that you're passionate about and ride with it. Like I just got to the point where I was like, I'm done not caring about Jason Tatum. I will support him till I die. And I was the same way about KG. I was the same way about Kevin Garnett. I was like, all right, I'm done trying to like listen and be like, oh, I'll let you say Dirk's better than KG. No, I'm firm on KG being top 3 all time. But yeah, I mean, that was a solid first episode, I'd say, of the duo. So
covered a lot.
I think we'll probably start with just once a week for right now. Just keep it on the Saturdays, and then like I'd say maybe like the only time I really could see where it's like we maybe go with like a short midweek episode would be like when basketball season rolls around again.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like if you and I really like if something major happens. And like
we got the finals coming up soon.
Yeah,
exactly.
We got some
good conference. If something happens, you never know.
We'll dictate it and be like, all right, is this worth it? And then be like, sure, or something. And it'd be like a 30-minute episode where I'd say the weekends it would be majority is like hour and a half or like around recording length wise. But yeah, but I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it. It's be fun.
I didn't know this. Kevin Garnett had the nickname of the Kid.
That is interesting.
No, he's the big ticket.
Big ticket.
Jonah, I need you to name a random NBA role player from back in the day.
Like how far back in the day?
It could be
Steve Kerr.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Mike Miller.
Mike Miller's a good one.
Mike Miller. The other one was Shane Battier, but I didn't want to go.
What about like Kenneth Faried?
Yeah, no, you're on the right track. You got it. You got it. Oh yeah.
God, this is out there.
This is how the episode ends. Is you just name a random role player, and that's it. But very excited we're back on. Very excited to get this going again. Better get on now. That's all. That's all.
Got a lot coming.
We'll be talking about more ball. We'll be talking about football when that rolls around. We'll talk about college football when that rolls around.
We got a lot coming up in here in the fall. It's going to be a little bit a little bit of a slower summer, but we got some soccer. We got NBA playoffs.
I feel like summer's always going to be like somewhat slow though.
Yeah, maybe a little baseball. You never know.
Actually, wait.
Or not.
On. I'm trying to think about when. What's that now? We'll talk about some baseball. I feel like with baseball, it's tough. It's tough to talk about, especially if you're going to do a weekly talk where it's like, what do you cover?
Yeah. I mean, they probably have played like 8 games a week.
Who do you think will win the Champions League? It's a week from today.
I cannot wait to watch that. That's a week from today. I think PSG.
Inter versus PSG.
Inter Milan versus PSG. I think PSG takes it. And I'm going to go with the scoreline.
I think Kylian Mbappe leaving. I think it's the curse. I think he was cursed.
Yeah. I mean, just look at it. PSG got rid of Mbappe and they're going to be in the Champions League final. Something that he could never do with the team. Real
Madrid has
they lost.
La
They didn't
Liga
win
last year, and then
they won it last year. Lost it this year. Lost in Champions League. Lost to Barcelona all 4 times they played this year. Yes, Mbappe is going to win. Leading scorer in the league, but I mean,
who cares?
They didn't win anything this year. I think PSG wins 2-1.
I like it.
That's my take.
I'll go 2-0 flat. 2-0 flat.
Okay, I like that. That's what I was going between 2-0, 2-1, but I think PSG has been so dominant this year.
Yeah.
It'll be a great game, and tomorrow we got last day Premier League of the season, so it'll be a good weekend.
Happy
Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm always looking forward for a 3-day weekend.
It's the best.
Especially with work now, it's like I was like waiting in the office yesterday for 5 o'clock, and it was like 4:40, and I was like,
yeah, it's like
I need this to roll around.
Exactly. You have a 3-day weekend coming. It's like, oh, the best feeling.
It's the best feeling. It's
the best.
I don't know if I was more. I mean, I don't know if I was more excited for break, like for like a week break during school, just because I knew I was like, all right, like I can kind of like get through school. With work, it's like you kind of got to be dialed in, and I just don't want to be on the phones half the time whenever I'm on them. And it's just like, it is what it is. But hey, last
take of the day, Game 3, Thunder Wolves for tonight. Who do you got? Thunder are 2.5 favored right now.
Only 2.5.
Yeah, Thunder 2.5 favored on the road.
I think the Wolves' energy is going to be there. I think the crowd is going to be in it. I think it's either going to be like the Thunder win by like 4 or the Wolves win by like 50.
15. Yeah, I agree. I could see that.
I think it's going to be like a bounce back game for them. I think they the crowd knows what they need to bring. I think that the Wolves back bounce big in this game, but I think Game 4 is really going to be the question.
Yeah, I agree. And then I think what Indy versus Knicks that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Same day as the Indy 500 F1 tomorrow morning. What a weekend, dude! Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. I saw something and it was like, if you're an Indiana fan, you're like in heaven right now, because it was like Fever and Pacers for like 8 days straight.
So with the Indy 500 mixed in.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So,
it's great.
Dude, that's gonna be that Game 3 is gonna be great.
It's gonna be unreal.
Indy Pacers up 2-0 going home.
Yeah.
They're ready for it. It's gonna be another great game. This series, I feel like every game is gonna be a back and forth. I don't think any one team is just gonna blow out the other in any game. It's all gonna be close, but I think Indy will take it in the end. But it's gonna be good.
I think
got a good weekend of sports.
Hey, you enjoy it, brother.
Yeah, you as well.
I will. So
I definitely will as well.
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. This is the Triple Threat Talk podcast. I'm your host, Connor Ryan, and with my co-host, Jonah Neuberger. We appreciate you all, and we will be back with another episode next week. Jonah, any final words for the people?
Indian 5.
I love it. Hope you all have a great Memorial Day, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Peace out.